Everyone. Thank you for joining our open call info webinar for the project I34Seaweed. Just to let you know that this webinar is a recorded session that will be available for you to rewatch after. We will have a brief introduction of the open call of I34Seaweed. We have different speakers here to support you in your question, which are Daniel Silva, our coordinator, Rafael Robayena from the University of Gran Canaria, and Leis Speranza from Green Collab in Portugal, and myself as open call manager. We are here to answer your questions at the end of the session. You have in the Q&As, you can ask your question in the Q&A of the webinar, and we will reply you live at the end. So let's start. First, a brief introduction of the I34Seaweed project. So the I34, we will go a little bit less in detail. We already had one info webinar a month ago that is available also on the website for rewatch. So we will go a little bit less in detail in this one to have more time for you to ask questions. So I34Seaweed project is about investing in seaweed innovation across Europe. The goal is to develop the value chain for the seaweed, promoting the progress of coastal and maritime areas of different European regions, and also to develop new seaweed cultivation technique and algae biotechnological application in the food, biofertilizer, biostimulant, and cosmetic industry. So the project is a 3-year project with a total budget of 9 million. And the FSTP budget, which means the open call budget, is 1.8 million. We have a consortium of 16 partners from Portugal, Spain, Germany, Denmark, Netherlands, and Ireland. And the project is coordinated by F6S. Regarding the open call, a brief overview as well. So our funding opportunity, which is divided into two strands. So we have the strand A and strand B. So the I34Seaweed open call is a competitive process where eligible applicant can apply for a spot, and we have a 12 months program, which is divided into two parallel components. We have on one side the project implementation framework, and on the other side the compulsory capacity building program. So as I already mentioned, it's 12 months project duration, which is estimated to start in February 2026 until January 2027. We will support 30 different projects, and each project will receive 60,000 euro. So the application, the open call started on August 20, 2025, and you can apply to until October 22 at 5 p.m. CT. I highly encourage you to apply before that deadline. In case of any technical issue, we will be able to support you, but the call will close really sharply at 5 p.m. CT on October 2022. So do not wait the last minute to submit your application. Important links, you can find everything on our website. So on the open call page, we have dedicated page specifically for all the open call. You will find there the recording of our webinar one. You will find there after the recording of the webinar 2 as well, and all the documents. So we have different annexes. And for the submission stage, the 3 documents that are necessary are the guideline of applicant, the technical proposal, and the application form. The guideline of applicant is your Bible, where you can find all the information regarding eligibility, what kind of project we are looking for. The technical proposal is what you need to submit to explain your project that will be evaluated by evaluator. And the application form is where you need to submit your applications through the F6S platform. So you need to create F6S account on the platform and apply either, so there's two different application form. Either you apply to the strand A for the macroalgae production, and either you apply to strand B on macroalgae biotechnology and downstream application. It's a different application form, so just be aware of this and carefully click the right button on our website page. You can also find all the information about declaration of owner, subgrant agreement, consortium declaration of owner, declaration of SME status, and financial information form, which will be the document you will be needed to submit during the contracting stage if you're selected. So as I mentioned already, study project will be funded either in strand A microalgae production, either in strand B macroalgae biotechnology and downstream application, and a minimum of 5 projects for each strand will be funded. And then both enter at the same time the project implementation phase and the capacity building program. Eligibility, we receive a lot of questions on this, so this is something to be carefully taking care. We are looking for legal SMEs entity or a consortium of up to 2 SMEs entity. So that means you need to have a VAT number, valid VAT number, and your registration address needs to be within the geographical eligibility of our project. So you must be established either in the region that are covered by the consortium member, either established in an European less developed region, or either established in European outermost region. We have all the list of all the regions that are eligible on our guide of applicants and on the website, so please read it carefully. It's not the full country that are eligible, but region, so you really need to check if you are part of those. And in case you have a consortium of up to 2, both of them needs to be from the eligible region as well. We are looking for projects that have a minimum of technology readiness level of 6. And the goal is that you demonstrate, scale, and commercialize the solution. Regarding multiple submission, you can apply to both strand A and strand B if you have a project for each, but be aware that only one application for strand will be considered. So you cannot be funded in both strands. Apologies. So here are the topics we are looking for. I need to move. Strand A macroalgae production. So we are looking for projects that have algae cultivation, application, process, and optimization, which mean a sustainable system for increase the yield, the resistance, and the value chain efficiency. We are also looking for species selection based on the biological performance and legal suitability for key markets, which are food, cosmetic, biostimulant, and biofertilizer. We are looking for molecular characterization, which are with the development of tools for ensuring the genotypic purity of cultivated strains. We are looking for production system development, which are innovation in onshore or offshore cultivation and hatchery techniques. Also for post-harvest processing and quality control, stabilization method and protocol, ensuring the traceability and the safety. We are also looking for hatchery and seeding innovation, which are efficient, scalable, early-stage production system. Sustainability and biodiversity with, for example, the integration of IMTA and biodiversity enhancing approach, as well as digital monitoring tools, which are sensor technology for hatchery offshore system control. And the last topic, but not least, will be the site selection tools to framework for choosing the optimal cultivation sites in the macroalgae sector. This is for strand A. Now I'm going to move to strand B topics that are microalgae biotechnology and downstreams application. So for this topic, we are looking for a project that support the analysis of the biochemical properties of the algae biomass and ingredient fractions. For example, biochemical composition, biochemical profiling, or bioactivities and analysis. We are also looking for biorefinery platform service to fractional algae biomass into different streams and processing of extract for biomass valorization, as well as scaling up of the seaweed product production process and the development of food, feed, cosmetic, agricultural product with seaweed as the full biomass. And the last topic for strand B is the application and improvement of procedure for the use of seaweed in the industry. So those are all the topics we are looking for, and we are also looking for project that will support our business case. So within our project, we already have a business case. And what we are looking for is that you fill up some gap in the supply chain to support on our business case as well. So we aim to fund innovative projects that will contribute to the investment project that are carrying out, or for the exploration of new processing technology with the scale up of these challenges. So just note that there is one sub-criterion in the proposal, which is relevance of the I34Seaweed investment case that will have a greater weighting in the evaluation process. So you can find more information about all those business case on our website as well. And we have a Natural Innovation Center as business case, digital twinning for offshore aquaculture. We also have seaweed-based meat product, seaweed-based food product, more general, and biofertilizer and biostimulants. We are developing seaweed-based cosmetics and as well frozen and dry seaweed market entry. Now the timeline, so I already mentioned the launch of the open call and the submission deadline. Don't forget October 22, 5 p.m. sharp CET. And then we will proceed immediately as the eligibility check and the remote expert evaluation. And we aim to announce the result around November 12. Of course, those dates are not entirely fixed, but can be subject to change. And the start of the I34Seaweed program in February 2026. The program overview, what do we offer? So it's a duration of 12 months. There is, as I mentioned already, implementation framework and capacity building program. The objective are to provide you with technical and business support for the successful of your project development, to strengthen the participants' skills via training, coaching, webinar, and networking, and to ensure the continuity behind the funding through the sustainability plans, collaboration, workshop, and knowledge sharing event. So we provide you with 60,000 in a lump sum, and as well technical support through specialized guidance and assistance, and business through mentoring, coaching, and networking opportunity. Be aware that there will be a mandatory study visit and in-person workshop at the project partner facility. So you need to, when you create your proposal, to think about this and allocate some budget for this. So we estimate at least 1 p.m. for the capacity building and ensure that one representative participate in the study visit. Again, this is all written detailedly in the guideline of applicant, which is your Bible. Regarding the capacity program, there will be monthly online workshop with a business case presentation by the I34Seaweed partner, and includes also dedicated investments and business support session. We provide mentoring and guidance with access to the Blue BioMatch Mentor Network and tailor expert advice through the program. There will be phased learning paths about technology, but also branding and networking, market strategy, funding and investment, and again, the final in-person workshop where you will be asked as well to pitch your project. And that was it for a nutshell in our I34Seaweed open call. Again, as I repeat, you can find everything on our website, some recordings, all the documents that we have. And now we want to take the time for the Q&A session and answer all the questions you may have. So the floor is yours. I will check the Q&A. Okay, I can start. Is it open to students from Asia or only for European students? Is there an age limit criteria? So there is no age limit for participating, but you need to be a company, so SME registered, and unfortunately the Asian countries are not eligible. Now I have another questions. I'm sharing this. Hello, and thank you for having this webinar. Two quick questions. Are the region eligibility criteria strict? We are located in, I cannot pronounce, sorry, Schleswig-Holstein, not in Berlin, but aim to collaborate with an SME inside the LCT region. Unfortunately, those are regions that are defined by our grant agreement, and they are really strict, and we cannot modify them. So if that region is not in the eligible region, you will not be able to apply from this. And the question B, may I check on the eligibility criteria for the consortium constellation regarding applied university research facility? Are research facility applied university eligible for direct funding and to be part of the consortium, or are they only eligible for subcontracting? Mirana, you would like to answer this question, it says? Sorry. Okay, so I can reply to this one. Research facility are not eligible. As mentioned, we are looking for SMEs only. So they will only be eligible for subcontracting. Thank you for the meeting. Can an SME apply on its own, or there is a minimum number of company? No, you can apply on your own. We are looking a minimum of 1, maximum of 2 consortium. So you can apply on your own. And for the question, what is meant by the digital twins? Maybe Raphael could give more insight on this one.
Yes, hello, everyone. It's just the kind of work that is developed by EDES. I should recommend that to go to the project and to review the documentation about EDES, which is now developing this digital twin. It's thus modeling the cultivation sites and all of the parameters and all of the biotic particularly conditions that should be controlled, but from the out of the site of cultivation, but using computers modeling basically. So what the EDES is doing right now is developing this digital twin and building up the kind of sensors that they need, the kind of information that they have to put in the model at the end to be able to control the site of cultivation, but also the hatchery facilities using these computerized models of that they call digital twin. I don't know if Lace want to add something.
No, I think that's it. Like adding the sensors and developing to optimize the cultivation with the twin models.
Perfect. Thank you, Rafael and Lace, for the answer. Okay, we have one more question at the moment. We are a CCUS project using algae as carbon capture and biomass. Will we become eligible for the Strand B funding? On this one, I think it's quite specific. I don't know if, Lace, you have an answer for this one. If not, it's quite specific for your own project, and we can always answer it as well through email when you're really case specific. If someone from the panelist has an answer, otherwise we can take this one through email.
Yeah.
You muted yourself, I think.
Oh, sorry. At the moment, we are focusing ourselves in the products from biomass, so from the seaweed. So the CCUS would be not one of the focus point, but send an email to us with the that we can check more specifically if it applied or not.
Agreed. Thank you, Lace. Is Iceland eligible? Unfortunately, Iceland is not eligible. It's not listed among the eligible region for the I34Seaweed open call. Sorry about that. We cannot change the region. Okay, this is replied. And another question. In a consortium, both SMEs are considered equally as beneficiary. Could SME1 apply to strain A as main beneficiary in consortium with SME2? And at the same time, the SME2 submit a separate application to strain B and both get funding. Let me read this question again. In a consortium, Okay, so in that case, SME2 will only be able to, as I mentioned, you can apply to both. But if SME1 is in strand A and is in strand B, it can only be funded through one of the strands. So if SME2 is funded in the strand B, then the strand A will not be eligible for funding as well, and vice versa. I think for now that's all the question we have, and we have replied them all. Meanwhile, I will go through some frequently asked questions that we have received while you can still send us some more questions. But we have received common questions, so we wanted to highlight them here. How is being established in an eligible region defined? So to be considered established in an eligible region, an applicant must be a legal entity with a VAT number that is legally based in one of the eligible regions. This means that the company official registration and legal address must be within a region covered by the I34Seaweed consortium member, an European less developed region, or an European outermost region. Again, the full list of all the eligible region is available in our guideline of applicants in the section 9. This one is important to re-highlight also what is the technology readiness level, so the TRL that is required for the proposal. Again, if you're applying, please ensure you have a minimum of a TRL 6. This is the requirement for being eligible in our call. And the aim of our project is to facilitate demonstration and accelerate the market uptake and commercialization by the end of the I34Seaweed program. So you must aim in your proposal as well to go higher. Can I submit multiple proposals? I think this one we have answered already. Yes, you can in both trends. However, only the highest ranked proposal in which the entity participates will be eligible for funding. So any other application involving this entity, regardless of the score, will be disqualified. Okay, I see another question in the chat. Can a funded SME subcontract another funding SMEs? There is a subcontracting. Okay, yeah. No, a funding SME cannot subcontract another funded SME. Subcontracting should only be done with entities that are not funded beneficiary in the same open call. Thank you, Mirana, for answering this one. Another question popped in the chat as well. Being outside a listed region means only subcontracting applies, meaning there are no regional constraint on that. Maybe Daniel, you could reply this one?
Sure, I can try to help here. Okay, so what is important to keep in mind here is that eligibility is refers to beneficiaries. And when we are doing this eligibility criteria, we are doing we are checking the eligibility criteria, we are looking at the beneficiaries. But you cannot try to say that, okay, I will try to include other companies through the subcontracting category, because you have to imagine that if you are you are not expected to subcontract essential tasks of your project. If you are doing that, it means that the beneficiary is not able to deliver what is expected to deliver and is proposed to deliver in these projects. So any subcontract means that you have to look at non-essential tasks that can be subcontracted under your project. These will be evaluated by the reviewers, and if for some reason one of the subcontracted tasks or activities are considered essential by the reviewers, these will be scored with a low score, meaning that the probability of your being funded will be reduced. So of course, as I said, we are not doing any kind of eligibility or covering any kind of eligibility criteria on the subcontracting tasks, but you have to mention in your project and explain very well why are you subcontracting something. And as I said, if the reviewer sees that this is an important or essential task for the development of your project, they can consider that participant should be a beneficiary and not a subcontractor. So be very careful in the way that you use the subcontracting option, since it can also be evaluated as a lower score. I hope it helps.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Okay, for now, I don't see other question in the chat. I can go through other frequently asked questions. Sorry.
You're muted, Orion.
Thank you. I can answer this one, but we already kind of covered it. Are consortium eligible? Yes, they are up to 2 SMEs. Both needs to be from the regional, the eligible country, and demonstrate the participation in the seaweed value chain. And that's, I see another question that came in the chat. Would a proposal that allocate around 80% of the requested funding to personal cost salary be evaluated less favorably or receive a lower score during the assessments process? Daniel, would you be able to answer this one also?
Sure, of course, I can help again.
Thank you.
It depends. I cannot say for sure that a proposal that has 80% of the eligible costs allocated to personal costs that will be evaluated less favorably regarding or related to others. It will depend on the scope of your project. It will depend on the activities that you want to implement. But in any case, what we are trying to reach here is to uptake your innovative solution. So if you are trying to uptake your innovation solution and you say that 80% will go to personal costs and 20% to the develop of your solution, it can be perceived, but as again, we need to, and I believe the reviewers will do this work, so to try to understand better the scope of your project, in order to assess if the 20% that you are allocating to the other categories are enough to complete this uptake that we are trying to fund here in the I34Seaweed open call. So do not forget that all the proposals, or in this case, all the selected funded projects, are required to participate in this capacity building program one day on site in one of the partners' regions. So you also need to allocate money for that. So it means that you are reducing a lot the money or the funds allocated to the development of your solution. So it can be perceived as not enough funds to support that activity. But again, it depends how your proposal is framed and also the scope of the overall scope of your project. And that's it.
Thank you very much, Daniel, for the answer. So for now, let's wait a little bit more to see if more questions are popping in, because so far we have answered them all.
Maybe if I may, Orion.
Sure, Daniel, go ahead.
Okay,
I'm
so
checking if there is other question.
While we wait for more questions from our audience, one thing that I wanted to say is that it's very important for you to read very careful the guideline for applicants. So everything that you really need about terms and conditions for this call are there, and they cannot be, they are very specific, and I think you will find the information that you need to build your proposal within the guideline for applicants. If this is not enough, you can always rewatch the first webinar where we were into detail on the specifications of the call. So everything regarding the the eligibility criteria, what we are looking for, what are the type of topics and challenge that you need to refer to, how the remote evaluation will be conducted, and the selection process. So this is very detailed in the first webinar, and I invite you all to watch that session. Also, there is a technical annex. So the technical annex is like the proposal template that you need to write and submit as part of your application form that clearly identifies the different aspects of your proposal. So for instance, when you were mentioning the subcontracting, please be aware that there is a part where it means where we are evaluating your capacity as an SME to deliver your project. So here you have to identify very clear that you and only you have the capacity to develop this project. And of course, you can subcontract a few activities, but those cannot be included here. So since it's not your own facilities, is someone else's own facilities, and you have to be very careful in the way that you justify that. So I think it's very important for you to read all these this documentation. They are very, very detailed. They provide all the information that you need. And at the end, if you feel that your question is very specific, you can always reach out to the Open Call Management Team email address. So when we will try to answer your question. But again, we are not doing as this part, we are not conducting a pre-eligibility criteria to identify if your project is or not eligible under a specific condition. So it's up to you to identify, according to the things that we are trying to look, if your project is eligible or not, or if you should apply or not. So we cannot tell you, again, we cannot tell you for sure that, okay, your project is eligible unless you are asking us, for instance, if your project or your SME established in one of the eligible regions. So do not expect us, of course, to tell you if the scope of your project is eligible or not, because we cannot do that. So this is the work of the reviewers, and they will evaluate according to what the things that we are looking for, and they will assess the merits of your project. And yeah, I think I could, yeah, that's all from my side. I hope it helps and clarify all your doubts. And yeah, if you have any other questions, Oriana, I get back to you. So I don't know if there are other questions that could
Thank
be
you so much.
addressed.
Thank you, Daniel, for all those specifications. No, there is no other question on the chat. While Daniel was talking, I show a little demo where you can find the webinar that he was talking about, where you can find frequently asked questions as well on the website, where you can find the email address in case we have an answer. But again, we want to reinforce that everything is written in the guidelines of applicant, everything what we are looking for. So I do not see any other question.
And sorry, Oriana, I remember another stuff that I would like to also say here. And again, so I know that some of you are trying to contact the business case to get some support from their side. And please do not do that, because the business case cannot help you and support you during the submission stage. So your project is your project. The business case are part of the consortium, so they have to adhere to these specific consortium agreements that we have, and they cannot support any of the proposals during the submission stage. Another conversation will be after you are selected, and some synergies and cooperation can be activated, of course, but for the submission stage, you cannot receive any support from the business case, or you should not contact them to get some support from their side. So this is also very important. So please refrain to do that. I know that there is some temptation to do in order to understand better how can you align your projects. I know and I understand your point of view, but Unfortunately, they are part of the consortium, so they cannot support any of the proposals that are submitting under the open call that we are organizing as a consortium. And now I think I did it all. I did say all. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniel, for all the specification. I think it's quite important. I still don't see any other question, so I think we have answered as well the frequently asked one. So I think we can close the session. I don't know if any of the panelists has something else that we could have forgotten and want to specify. I don't think so. So
No.
Thank you, Ariane.
okay.
No, thank you, Orion.
Thank you so much. Okay, then let's close this webinar then. Thank you so much for coming and for your attention. The time is soon. The closing date is coming quite quick, so we are the 8th of October. And we will close, as I mentioned again, 22, very sharp. Again, do not wait the last minute to submit your application. In case of any trouble, we can support you, but not in the last minute. And if you really have other questions, you have the email here that you can send us for more specification. The webinar will be available for sure on our YouTube channel, so you can rewatch it. And you have the other webinars as well on our website. So thank you for coming, and we wish you good luck for your application, and hopefully to see you in the selected applicant. Final words, Daniel, before we close?
No, you said it all. So don't wait for the last minute to submit your applications. Any question that you might have regarding eligibility criteria, you can always address to the email address of the open call management team. And yes, and we are looking forward to reading your innovative proposals and to select them and integrate you in our project as a portfolio company of our I34Seaweed. So we want to extend this portfolio, and I hope you submit a very interesting proposal under the conditions that are established in the guideline for applicants. So good luck to everyone, and yeah, do not wait for the last minute to submit your proposal. That's very important.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good day.